Welcome to today's meeting. I've just called you in today so we could have a little bit of a chat about the phone call you gave me the other day in regards to possibly educating some of your gentlemen.
Yes.
Would you like to tell me what it is you're actually after?
Yep. So I guess over the last 6 months we've been actively trying to set up a new men's shed in Shader Park. We haven't got any local men's sheds, and there's been a significant need for some sort of additional, environment that men can go to. And it's come out of a few of the different community ideas in the last survey that the council did. So we've got some funding together. We've got a location now, which is fabulous. There was an old tool shed that used to be done for some woodworking, which they've given us access to. And the plan is that early January we're going to open the doors, probably 3 nights initially, but ultimately with a plan to have it open 5 days a week and then alternating Saturdays as well. I guess our clientele we're looking at the moment, there's a lot of older gentlemen in our areas who've retired and are not really finding life at home is interesting anymore, and they're looking for a bit of social outlet. So that's one of our groups, and the other group is mental health is quite significant in that area at the moment. And so we're looking at also outreaching into the local mental health communities and looking for men that are between jobs in particular, just come out of hospital, and looking for, again, just that interaction back into the community.
Okay.
That's the plan.
So this building, you're about to set it up, or it's already ready to go?
It's pretty much ready to go. So it was an old woodworking shed that was used by the Woodworking Association of Logan. They finished about 12 months ago, and the building has just been sitting there, so it's a council-owned building. So they're happy to lease it to us on a 5-year deal at no cost because it sits under their funding, which is good. So it's got 3 rooms in it. It's got a mini kitchen that they can use. It's got a full workshop area. It's got like a sitting room, I guess, sort of, you can put tables and chairs in there. And then there's a room at the moment, we're not quite sure what we'll use it for, but it's just a big open plan area. But out the back is a big workshop area with benches. There's some tools, there's not a lot. We are refitting it out with tools and equipment at the moment. We're working on access to timber and things like that from the local community, if we can just get people to be involved.
Well, about the only thing I know about the men's shed is, are they the old guys that make the little wooden toys that they get given out at Christmas?
That was how they originally started. Yes, they did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as far as educating some of your gentlemen, are they, I presume most of them have done some of this kind of work before?
There are a few. So there are a few that actually came from the old woodworking society that want to continue. But no, we have a lot of gentlemen that were white-collar gentlemen who have never really used tools in their life, who want to come along and have a bit of a tinker, which is where my concern is, which is why I rang. We have a lot of our mental health patients or clients will range from anywhere from about 18 right through. So some of them, again, have never touched a tool. So we just want a bit of safety in that space at the moment.
And do they actually come in with any carers or?
No, we will have some volunteer staff on. I think at this stage we'll probably be funded for a coordinator who will be on site at all times to manage, I guess, that security element and that safety element, to make sure there is somebody there. The aim, though, is to ultimately get it up and running as a volunteer organisation. So volunteers maintain it, look after it, coordinate it, etc.
Okay,
yeah.
Sounds good. One of the plans our RTO has been working on is actually expanding our range. And, to do that, we obviously need customers for starters, but we need to develop our resources and make a plan in action to completely. Hey?
You need to get registration.
Yeah. I'm getting it. Okay. Okay. What we're actually trying to do is, with our training organisation, we're trying to expand the field of things we're allowed to teach.
Okay.
For that, we need to develop new learning programs. And one of the new learning programs is a unit that I think your establishment might be interested in. So we're currently still building on the skills and presentations and making sure our teachers are qualified for that particular event. Once we get all that together and get all our paperwork in order, we can submit that to our higher authority, and they'll let us train your guys.
Excellent.
There is one unit that we're particularly interested in teaching.
Yep.
Once we get approval for it, that is,
Yep.
it's maintaining and using hand tools,
Yep.
and it does sound kind of perfect for what you need. For that unit, what we would need to do is work with you into what the actual field is that we're trying to deliver to. Like your gentleman you've already said, and we need to establish a training basis or a time frame that we want to deliver that training to, and any safety or WH&S situations that may or may not arise.
Okay.
So if you've got time today, we could work through this, and then we might have something to submit to our to ASQA,
Excellent. Yep.
and they'll give us if they can give us approval. As soon as they give us approval, we can wrap all this up and actually get in there and help you guys.
Fabulous.
So I've just pre-registered some of these informations on my form, and so basically this is the unit that we're looking at getting qualified for. It's a maintain and use hand tools, and it is a very basic program to be honest. There are no prerequisites, so pretty much if they can speak a minimum amount of English and understand a minimum amount of English, that will be more than applicable. We'll come to that in a minute.
Okay.
Because it is a single unit, it's not a qualification or anything like that. So we're just teaching, just what we want to deliver is just information that's useful for your individual purpose.
Okay.
It's not skills that are going to be able to carry on to building a qualification. Not that at that age many of you gentlemen will want to go and become industry leaders in mechanical or building or electrical. This is just to really get them by and keep them safe in your environment.
But you said the other day they can get a result of assessment at the end, so they do have at least a little bit of paper.
Yeah, they can get it. We can make a little piece of paper that makes them feel happy, and when they go home to their wives and partners, and they can go, look, honey, this is what I did.
Excellent.
So yes, it's definitely something we can put on a piece of paper for them. Like I said, it doesn't mean a lot, but it is something that they will have achieved.
Yeah.
And with the mental health issue, I'm sure actually gaining a skill and being accepted by their peers is probably quite a significant step for some of these gentlemen who probably haven't educated or passed a certificate. I would understand that some of these people may have even not even finished school 40, 50, 60 years ago, so they might be pretty chuffed with themselves if they can get a certificate. Okay, so the learning target you were saying is the gentleman?
Yes.
But you did say there is, I'll just check my notes here, that you said there may have been some mental health issues.
Yeah, so I guess from a learning, what does it say? Learning targets, I would say that our target is twofold primarily, potentially even three. There's a third audience we're looking for, but we do have retired gentlemen, so it'll always be men because obviously we're a men's shed. And our coordinator will be a gentleman as well. Like the aim is to keep that in that space. I'll just set it up and step out.
So your coordinator, have you already spoken to this person? Do they hold any relevant skills in managing other people or managing small business or anything like that?
We haven't actually picked anyone. We've started to write the position description at the moment, but that's about it. So the aim will be, they do need to have some leadership skills and things like that as well. We've also got our participants that have mental health issues at present. They may be mental health issues that are underlying, so potentially we will have some participants who have just come out of hospital, but we'll also have participants who this is just filling in time. They've gone back to work, their general life is actually travelling okay, but this is just an additional element just to, again, really integrate them into society. And the third group, I guess, we've been looking at is we have a lot of local migrants in like the Logan district.
I was going to mention that, that as I mentioned it, if they have a minimum language standard where they can read and write English of a minimum standard, and the course really, the unit we're looking at getting qualified for is I don't want to say low because that's definitely the wrong word, but it doesn't require a great deal of literacy to participate. I have worked in the past with people that have been in the country for 20 or 30 years and still struggle with English. Yeah. I do understand that English is one of the most difficult languages to get around. Yeah. And in teaching a couple of different units, close to this, but not this exact one, they have had no difficulty. Sometimes we might use some online facilities to translate if there's some stuff that they are having difficulty with. But we'll get to that anyway. Okay. So the migrant. Yep. Now, just going back to the your participants that may have some sort of mental issue, how do you think that might affect them in their learning? Like, do they come in and they just want to sit down and they're pretty much zoned out to everything else that's going on? Like, I'm just trying to put into words what their learning disability would be, to use incorrect words.
Yeah. I guess they're all different. We do have some who will come in and be a little bit withdrawn, may not have an ability to concentrate for long periods of time, get distracted easily. We also have some people who go up and down quite easily. So one day they might come in and they're very enthusiastic, and the next time they come in they won't be. But that is one of the requirements we're going to have for our coordinator, to have a mental health background to be able to, I guess, stabilise that. So obviously if we've got someone who's come in who is having a day where they're having trouble, we might not put them in the workshop that day and allow them to be near tools because it might not be appropriate.
So I've just basically tried to sum that up as the participants with underlying mental issues that do have a desire to learn.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. If they don't want to be there, we won't be putting them in the class.
Yeah. So the characteristics of the target learners, well, we pretty much nailed that. Is the retired men? Obviously, the retired men, they're just sick of being bored, I imagine.
Yeah, they're looking for generally they're looking for companionship, and they're looking for something to do.
All right, we can come back to that one, I think. Okay. And your facilities. So it's nice and clean at the moment, or is it? Yeah. So you're not going to have any issues with power and lighting.
No, that's all fine. Yep.
And what about where people interact with other people? Have you got any plans in place yet as to safety blankets and your fire evacuation plan and all that sort of thing? Who's in charge of all that?
Yeah, we're probably not at that level at the moment. We have got that on our project plan to say that we do need to have a risk assessment done of the actual facility. I guess we're still in the process of working out what we're going to put in those 3 individual rooms. So if the need is to have a more of a seminar style room set up where you can teach and then you can go into the workshop separately, then that's how we might set up that 3rd room. We're looking to do a couple of other training things with some different organisations as well. We want to do some English language. We want to potentially do some cooking skills and things like that as well in the facility. So I think one of the rooms will be set up as more of a seminar room. I guess once we know the room purpose, that's when we'll get someone in to actually determine the design, layout and the safety elements as well.
We would be looking at to deliver a lesson in your facility is a nice quiet clean room, good light, plenty of PowerPoints, and an audio system if possible, and something that we can project onto. We can bring our own projectors, there's no shortage of those. If you have one, if you have it all set up, maybe in the ceiling or whatever, just the ability to connect into that and broadcast and teach whoever's in the room. Okay. So I don't think we would need to talk onto that, would we?
No.
So for our training, for our registered training authority or organisation to build a unit, we can pitch to ASCO, which is our big brother. We need to create like learning resources. As I said, if you've got a projector, we can create PowerPoint presentations for you. We can also develop a very simple online basically same as a PowerPoint but online. Maybe have some links to alternate languages that can easily be auto-translated. Other things we can do is maybe supply you with some handouts that the men can just pick up and read at their own leisure, and maybe looking at something like having a trainer there once a week, once a fortnight, whatever you, obviously your budget will facilitate when we can and can't be there and how much time we can. On a small unit like this that we're building on, we're probably looking at the 8 actual face-to-face hours. It is quite a simple unit, but there are a few technicals in there, especially anytime safety is involved. We really need to drum it into the people that are taking our lesson.
And are we better to do like 8 1-hour sessions or 4 2-hour sessions, or what's the best way to sort of cover that?
I think once we get all the other little nitty-gritties out, we can work on how we can break that down. It also might depend on your clients as to they might not want to be there for 4 hours, 2 hours. You know, they may only 1 hour might be it. 1 hour once a week for 4 weeks. You know, it just depends on what they can put up with and whether they want to do it online themselves and just come in and pop in and do an hour for a class and get the tick so they can get that piece of paper.
Okay. So it can be a combination of some online and then coming in for a couple of classes, and then the practical element I assume you'll also do. Obviously we don't want them doing the practical without a teacher, is that?
That's well, with your coordinator there anyway, I imagine they're going to have some crossover skills which will allow them to sort of keep an eye on people anyway. But we would like to see physical demonstrations of skills acquired, and that would definitely lead to their passing the assessment. There won't be any great demand for a written question, especially in the target audience that you've already laid out. Is their handwriting might be rather poor, and their internet skills might be a little bit off kilter as well. So we may even need to put in a little, make something very simple in a handout as to how to go to the website and be able to scroll through without any degree of difficulty whatsoever.
Yeah, we might even get you to spend some time with our coordinator explaining that, and then they can help the different individuals as well.
So this is all information we'll go back to ASCOF about.
Yep.
And develop a unit that they know that we've covered all our bases for.
Yep. Okay.
So the venue will be at your the delivery venue will be at your site.
Yep.
Or online.
Yep.
But it will finally be at your site for assessment.
Okay. Yep.
So there will only be a one-on-one assessment,
Mm-hmm.
and with so few clients,
Yeah.
I don't see that that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
We can extend our duration of being there and our frequency.
Yeah.
It's quite flexible.
Okay.
Once we outlay the built unit to the authority, they can tell us how much time we're allowed to spend there, and I don't think that's going to be a massive issue. So the one-on-one assessment, we're going to go face to face to do a question and answer. That way, there's no reading or writing involved, and the gentleman should be fine with that. I am one of the trainers,
Yeah.
so you might even see me out there.
Okay.
And the assessment validation, it is to be advised at this point.
Yeah.
But I'll just make a note there that you're thinking maybe 4 by 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, it depends. I mean, if they only have to do 4 hours of, say, actual lessons, they could do, say, 4 hours online themselves and then the 1 hour assessment at the end. Maybe we could do every Monday night or pick a night that works and do 1 hour sessions. They come and go. Obviously, sometimes we're not going to have people come for 4 weeks in a row. That's just the nature of who we are. But it might be that if they do session 1 and then 3 and then 4, they have to wait till the following month and come back and do 2, and then they can do their assessment after that. Does that work for that
It should.
flexibility?
It should. I see another advantage. So if your gentleman or clients, if they have a poor mental health, and one of the things you want to develop for them is a frequency of getting out.
Yeah.
Every Monday night. Okay, great. Every Monday night we're going to class, we're going to see the old boys, we get to muck around with some woodwork and metalwork. It may even be advantageous to set a single night and a periodic run.
Yeah.
As-
That's definitely the aim. We do have occasions where they end up back in hospital and just for a couple of days just to settle themselves down. So long as there's some reasonable adjustment, I guess we can do with those. I mean, the aim would definitely be, if that's the 4 week block, that 90% of them are coming for that period of time.
And depending on your finance, there's no reason that this can't be a rolling unit. Mind you, that is once we've passed and accepted.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just more law stuff we have to worry about. We do have to follow lots of guidelines, and that really doesn't have much effect on you. It just means we have to cross every T and dot every I, and make sure everything's exactly written down and proofed and double proofed.
Okay.
Well, have you got any other questions while you're here?
No, I think that's about it for now. We'll just keep plodding along with the assumption that we're going to head down this path early in the 2020. And still we're going to chase funding. We obviously want some funding to be able to do this as well. So.
Well, I wish you all the best, and
thank you.
I hope we get this unit through for you as soon as possible.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Jane.